to get a chance to play.
And you know what shows that, Michael, is that, you know, Cork were in the semi-final last year, and 2 years ago Dublin were in the semi-final. But the difference is, at that time, there was a big, dark, black and amber cloud hanging over the semi-finals, because the presumption was that no matter what you do here, Kilkenny will come along and win the All-Ireland. Now that dark cloud has flown away and the blue skies of opportunism have come true for everybody. So everybody now feels they have the same chance. And the great thing about that is, now whoever wins the final, it will be one of the greatest finals ever to win. But for the three that don't do it, there'll be a feeling of a real lost opportunity. So that's why I think they will dive into this game today, and the same way with Clare and Limerick next Sunday, seeing that, lads, this is a chance that might never come around again, and that is not alone going to add to the atmosphere, but it'll also add to the quality of the two semi-finals.
Well, sir, one thing is for sure today, that 4 is going to be reduced to 3 possibles at any rate. Who's going to come through on this one?
Well, a lot is going to depend on the referee. I think if he lets it flow and kind of really, you know, let it move on, it'll suit Dublin. They'll try to be very physical. They're very, very fit. They'll be in your face. They kind of love to take tackles, lay it off, and they fight very hard. They're good in the air, fight very hard for the ball, and they are scoring freely. Now, Cork are different. Very, very skillful. Let the ball do the work. Forwards keep moving. Get the ball into space, kind of move off the space. They like to keep the ball kind of sharp and very fast. If it's very strict, it'll actually suit Cork, because, like, you know, the last thing against Kilkenny, once the tackle went in, even there in the minor match, if you were tackled at all, it was a free. So if you're running with the ball, it's a free. Now, Cork will let the ball go into space. They're very, very fast. They're good at taking scores from outside, have scored very few goals. And I think at the end of the day, I think, you know, if it's open hurling, if you allow kind of Cork to float and dance, they should win it. But if it becomes a dogfight, Dublin will get there. I think Cork will win this one.
All right, lads. Well, there will be many important encounters on the pitch this afternoon. Conal Keaney, Pat Cronin. Well, they're sure to be two of the key figures here today.
There, so you obviously trawled the internet all week, but of course it matters. But I suppose history and tradition are there to be taken on as well. You know, I know coming from Offaly, we had no tradition up until 1980, and we built a tradition, and you know, it's hard to keep it there in a small county. But look at. This has been the atmosphere, Marty, first of all, just to try to explain it to people at home. It's like an All-Ireland final. The crowd is not as big, it's not a full house, but it's unbelievable. The noise, the colour, and there's some crowd from Cork there. I think the Cork crowd probably outnumbered the Dublin crowd, and they have travelled, you know, with great confidence. And what a year for hurling it's been so far. It's been absolutely electrifying, and I'm expecting more of the same today. You know, it'll be just a few tactical things that you were mentioning in your scene said earlier. I think Pat Cronin will definitely play at centre forward and Liam Rush. I think Conor Lahan will play out in the wing and Jamie Coughlin will go back in the corner. They look at Lahan to run at them. They look at Pat Cronin in the air, and then you'll see Dublin trying to drop John McCaffrey back into the half-back line and let Liam Rush drop back a little bit deeper. So, you know, it's really all down to who performs on the day. Dublin are battle-hardened, Cork are younger.
What an atmosphere. We expect drama, we expect fireworks, we expect a thriller here in Croke Park. The match referee is James Owens from Askamore, County Wexford. It's his very first All-Ireland semi-final. Cork won the toss, decided to play from left to right. In other words, down from Hill 16, down towards the Davin end. The ball is sent in with tremendous pace, with tremendous accuracy, and within 12 seconds of this All-Ireland semi-final, Dublin have a score.
Yeah, Martin, look, Danny Sutcliffe, they're a young player on the Dublin team, but I've huge regard for him. Fantastic to set the tone, pick up a ball out past midfield and drive it over the bar, and a great start by Dublin. And Marty, I was saying that Pat Cronin has gone to centre forward, Conor Lahan is out in the wing, so you know, I think they were touted during the week as possible moves, and they've been made by Cork.
What a great start for Dublin, and indeed Danny Sutcliffe, who of course scored the crucial goal against Kilkenny in the semi-final replay. Here's Rhino Dwyer bursting forward. The call comes indeed from Sutcliffe, who was waiting just along the sideline. Tries to flick it forward. Intercepted on this occasion by Luke O'Farr. Sent inside past Daniel Carney. Coming forward was Johnny McCaffrey. Referee James Owens has blown his whistle and given a free to Cork. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, Rhino Dwyer, very physical player. You know, early in the game, yeah, it took the ref a long time there to decide on the yellow card. I thought there, Marty, Jimmy Barry was having a word with the linesman there and might have influenced it slightly, but you know, it was a slightly late tackle and definitely a free, but maybe a harsh yellow card.
Yellow card confirmed from Rhino Dwyer as Patrick Horgan takes the fray and sends it between the posts for his first point in this All-Ireland semi-final. Sides are level in Croker.
And that's a fantastic free. Patrick Horgan being outstanding for Cork. That's not an easy free to start with, right out on the sideline in the middle of the field. A great score by Horgan.
Tuck out from Gary Maguire. Larkin McLaughlin is in there. So too is Conal Keaney. Coming away with it is Daniel Carney. Lovely wristy hurler. Cork go back into the attack, send it down towards Luke O'Farrell. A lot expected from him. Tries to get it through, blocked on this occasion. Half blocked at least by Michael Carton. So that's going to be a sideline ball for Cork.
Yeah, Luke O'Farrell, long way out the field there. Nice block there by Michael Carton, who's been outstanding for Dublin. But you mentioned one man there, Daniel Carney, Marty. I thought his influence against Kilkenny in the first 20 minutes in particular. He's only 5'9", and people said there's no place for a small man, but he's so pacey around the field.
Tom Kenny's ball inside. There's a chance here for Cork. Dublin were exposed momentarily. Battling hard is Conor Lahan, and he puts it over the bar. But just for a second or two, Dublin looked to be exposed.
Absolutely. If you watch, just broke away here from Lahan, but just watch this for a pick up here. Incredible skill there, back up on his feet, and that's an absolutely brilliant score. And this is a man, I think, ready to explode. You know, has had a quiet enough year, brilliant last year in his first year, but flashes in the last couple of games, and this could be a huge day for him.
Good start to this All-Ireland semi-final. Pacey, fast, and already at a level of excitement that we would expect. As that ball is sent to the left and wide. Off the stick of Joey Boland. Ready to take the puck out. Goalkeeper Anthony Nash. He's had a wonderful season. Yet to concede a goal. Ball comes down towards Liam Rush, gathered by Conor Lahan. Looks like a man to be on fire in the early stages. Dropping this in. Up goes Luke O'Farrell. Here comes the shot. Here comes the score. So much expected of Luke O'Farrell. A lot of the scoring has been done by Patrick Horgan. Came into the semi-final with 23 points. So a little bit of pressure on the Middleton man, but he is delivering.
He is, and a great ball there, Conor Lahan across the field. But interesting to see Anthony Nash trying to isolate Pat Horgan or Pat Cronin on Liam Rush. Liam Rush very strong in the air, but obviously that's a tactic. They're going to take on Liam Rush and look to pick up breaks off him. Rather than him running onto breaks, they're going to look to play off the break off him, and that's what happened there.
Ball is aimed at Conal Keaney, picked up instead by Joey Boland. Sent in towards Ryan O'Dwyer. Waiting for it is Danny Sutcliffe. Stephen McDonald comes away with it. Played fullback against Kilkenny, moved to cornerback. He's blossoming in the role, obviously. Hand passes it forward towards Luke O'Farrell, but it hit off the surface at pace, skidded, sideline ball.
I think when a fullback passes the halfway line, gets a bit great fast hurling so far.
Paul Chute from Kula taking the sideline cut. Runs along nicely. Far as John McCaffrey. Waiting for it is Stephen McDonald. Hand passes it far as Shane O'Neill. Delivers it long up for Patrick Horgan. Getting inside the cover of Peter Kelly. Good defending by the Lucan Sarsfields clubman. The fullback recovered really well. Under pressure, drove it over the sideline, but good work by Dublin defensively.
Yeah, Marty, the ball went from one end of the field. I think Paul Ryan feel a bit unlucky not to get a free the other end, but then Pat Horgan thought he was inside, and great recovery by Peter Kelly, and little solo here I think as well. Yeah, and really hard to see, but here's Paul Ryan just clipped going across there, and that's a free in. You know, it's accidental, but it's definitely a free. We saw a player sent off in the minor final for a similar offence, which was only a free, and disappointing to see that in the minor.
Gary Maguire sending it down the wing. Gathering it here is Conal Keaney. Crossfield ball over towards Danny Sutcliffe. Got the first score after 12 seconds. This is Doxy O'Callaghan. Chasing after him is Conor O'Sullivan. Doxy is fouled, and that's a free in for Dublin.
Yeah, Doxy, great, fantastic servant to Dublin hurling over the years, and you see Conor O'Sullivan just a little tug on the arm there. And he's really, you know, new lease of life this summer, I think, that's it again. And it's great to see, after all these years of service, you know, to win that Leinster Championship medal, the likes of him and Conal Keaney, who've been around so long.
Going to take the free, Paul Ryan. Just to the left of the post. No problem for the Ballybowdens end on this man. An intriguing contest. Tactical game being played. As Michael mentioned, Patrick Cronin playing at centre half forward on Liam Rush. And once again, Anthony Nash sends it down that middle channel. Lovely little touch on. There's a chance here for Conor Lahan. And that ball is gone wide. But it's interesting, the tactics by Anthony Nash. First time he was aiming for Patrick Cronin, who had moved out to the wing. This time he went straight down the middle. Yeah,
Cronin made a run across the field, took Liam Rush out of the centre and left the centre open. And obviously Cork have put a lot of work into this tactical puck out. Liam Rush really will have to hold the centre and let the men on either wing pick up Patrick Cronin if he makes the run.
And that battle between Patrick Cronin, wearing number 12 for Cork, and number 6, Liam Rush for Dublin, is crucial. Great pressure by Conal Keane. Good block down by Christopher Joyce. The Pearson man goes back to gather. Flicks it in, but it only goes past Paul Ryan. Sending it a ball across. Coming out to gather it is Dotsy. Turning and sending that, and Anthony Nash is happy to see that go over the crossbar with a little bit of help from the Cork keeper. But really good, fast play by Dotsy O'Callaghan.
Yeah, Marty, that score was made up by the tackling of the Dublin forwards. Gerald O'Connell spoke about it beforehand. You know, turnover ball and the ferocious tackling there on Christopher Joyce. Ball spilled and a ball across the middle to Dotsy and over the bar.
8.5 minutes gone. Sides level for the second time. Ball is available for Patrick Cronin. Sent back for his Tom Kenny. Along the surface. For his Conor Lahan. Waiting for it in the centre. Good ball for Seamus Harnedy. And Harnedy has sent it wide. That is a real missed opportunity for the Rebels.
Well, there's an old thing in hurling, Marty. You can have too much time on the ball, and I think there Seamus Harnedy he just relaxed. He had all day to tap it over. He could have taken another couple of steps forward and stuck it over, and that's two bad rides. Now Conor Lahan had one previously.
Tuck out from superbly cut by Ryan O'Dwyer. Flicked inside for the Dublin captain using the hand pass. It's Conal Keane. It's over the bar. Excellent play by Dublin.
Oh, that's an incredible catch by Ryan O'Dwyer. Lovely hand pass out by John McCaffrey, and an easy score for Conal Keane. But Ryan O'Dwyer very brave there under a very hard ball. Look at this for a catch and 3 or 4 hurls. Everyone, all eyes on the ball, everyone going for the ball, and a fantastic catch.
Ball is knocked down for Larkin McLaughlin coming through, chasing after him is Joey Boland. It's still McLaughlin. He uses the short grip, and it just about got over the crossbar. It's a point for Cork off the hurl of Larkin McLaughlin from Kanturk.
Yeah, an important score, Marty. Dublin had scored the last 3 points, and you know Cork needed that score. Nice, and Larkin McLaughlin, underrated player, I think, very mobile, and himself and Daniel Carney forming a very mobile midfield partnership for Cork.
It's level for the 3rd time at headquarters. Going back to gather is Christopher Joyce. Daniel Carney is there as well. John McCaffrey somehow managed to get a block in it. Conal Keane, good call from Joey Boland. Boland goes on to the left-hand side and shoots and sends it left and wide. It's really fast, open game so far. Ryan O'Dwyer has picked up an injury and requiring some medical attention. Former Tipperary hurler, of course, ex-Cashel Kincormacs, now playing club hurling with Kilmacud Crooks in Still Oregon, here in Dublin. Puck out from Anthony Nash. Up goes Liam Rush. Magnificent catch. Getting away from Patrick Cronin. Sending it down towards Paul Ryan. Staying close to him is Conor O'Sullivan. Here comes Ryan O'Dwyer, getting a touch on it. Ball is bouncing all over the place. It comes first, Conor O'Sullivan. Flicks it back. Good play. It's Stephen McDonald that gives it plenty of air. Down towards Seamus Harnedy. It comes instead for his Luke O'Farrell. Luke O'Farrell laying it off quickly for his Jamie Collin. Jamie Coughlin's effort is half blocked. It's still there. Goalkeeper Gary Maguire is off the goal line. Coming in there is Paul Shooting. Liam Rush is there. Add a bit of calmness. Ball is blocked. Goalkeeper is backtracking backwards his goal line. It's Conor Lahan. The cross has to be inch perfect. Comes in for his Larkin McLaughlin. McLaughlin did well. Cut inside and scores. Brilliant work by the Rebels from Cork. Never gave up.
Marty, breathless hurling here. It's unbelievable, end to end. The blocking, hooking, the effort by both sides, and you know, Larkin McLaughlin came through, kept his eye on the ball and brought it down. But Liam Rush here, the first maybe real 50-50 ball between himself and Pat Cronin, and Rush out in front in a super catch.
Puck out from Gary Maguire. Conal Keaney knocking it down. Danny Sutcliffe trying to get away from this tight marking Cork defence. Daniel Carney is there. So too is Seamus Harnedy for the Rebels of Cork. This is going to be a free for Cork between the 45 and 65 metre line on their own side. Coming out to take it, goalkeeper Anthony Nash. He's already scored twice in the championship. Both of them frees against Clare. That gives you a good idea of what Anthony Nash is looking at.
He certainly has the distance, I'd imagine. No, the breeze holding it up.
This is dropping a little bit short. Up goes Liam Rush again. Ball comes available to Patrick Horgan, breaking his way down. The ball is loose, it's available. Plenty of Dublin defenders there, they scoop it out. Stephen Heine is there, he's under a bit of pressure, so is Michael Carton. Cork chasing everything. Heine on the ball momentarily, picked up instead by Patrick Horgan. Who has it now? It's Lorcan McLaughlin onto his left-hand side, and the ball is wide. Oh, it's breathless hurling in Croke Park, but it is so enjoyable.
Yeah, there's been a couple of wides, Marty, but apart from that, it's absolutely fantastic. Great effort by both sides. I think Pat Horgan trying to burrow through there, and, you know, even if on the ball, some great blocking. And Lorcan McLaughlin could have had his third point there, but it's absolutely, it's hard to get time to catch a breath here. It's so fast, and so, you know, the mobility, the fitness of the players is just incredible.
Some statistical information there for you on our screen in terms of scoring chances. Ball comes all the way down towards Paul Ryan, getting it onto his left-hand side, but the ball is deflected out for a 65 for Dublin. They need to get this man more on the ball and perhaps isolate him up front.
Yeah, I think they do, Marty, but I suppose so far in the game, you know, there's so much pressure on the man with the in possession that he's just letting it go wherever he can. You know, it's not really at the stage of the game where it's opening up yet. But again, Ryan O'Dwyer there, a ball he really had no right to win, got a flick to it inside and into Paul Ryan, deflection, and out for 65, and he's out now to take it.
He scored 3 goals and 26 points in the championship campaign so far. Add on 2 here in Croke Park, it's now 328. Dublin and Cork are level for the 4th time in this semi-final, and thankfully only 14.5 minutes gone. Tuck out from Anthony Nash, beautiful layoff, chance here for Cork, and that is superb play. Lorcan McLaughlin coming through, 3 points for the Cork number 8.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Joey Boland's on him, very good, who's having a great year, but McLaughlin, I've never seen him getting forward as much as this, and that's his 4th shot and goal. He scored 3 of them, and he's having a massive influence on the game.
Puck out, comes down towards Tom Kenny, gets a touch to it. Picked up instead by Joey Boland. And pass back as Michael Carton. Conal Keaney is available, and obviously sends out the call. Keaney goes for the score. It's dropping in around the house. Ball is wide off the hurl of Dotsy O'Callaghan.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a breeze, Marty, favouring Dublin, and, you know, they've been drawn in maybe to a bit of long-range shooting where, you know, as you mentioned a minute ago, a few balls into the full forward line, which they did so well in the Leinster final, but, you know, it's only a point in it, and but just that breeze, I think, is freshening slightly, and it's in Dublin's favour.
Long puck out again from Anthony Nash, putting the Dublin defence under a little bit of pressure. This is Peter Kelly. Has the time to balance the sliotar on the pass of the hurl and then drive it long. Good work this time by David Tracy. Stephen McDonald tries to hook him. It's an easy ball for Anthony Nash. Dotsy Callahan comes in to challenge. Nash again goes for distance. Liam Rush is underneath it. So to Peter Kelly it is. Peter looks and gives a diagonal ball over for his David Tracy. Good catch on the run. Can he finish? Can he what? Brilliant score from David Tracy.
Yeah, Martin, a great ball by Peter Kelly across to David Tracy. And this is a player, I think, you know, he's struggled with injuries. He's only 23, he's around the Dublin panel a long time, but Anthony Daly has such high regard for him. You know, he gets a lot of hamstring injuries, but when he's fully fit, he's so dangerous, and great. You know, that's a great score that will settle him.
Level for the 5th time in Croke Park. Liam Rush gathers his thoughts, makes a little bit of space, sends it down towards Stephen McDonald, right corner back from Glen Rovers. Ball comes available to Tom Kenny, grabbed instead by Danny Sutcliffe. He's going for his second point in this semi-final, and it's bang on target. Beautiful skill, great score.
Absolutely. Marty, just distracted for a second there looking at the scoreboard, but you know, Danny Sutcliffe, that's 2 scores from way out the field, but this player has everything. You know, he burst on the scene last year, had a brilliant league, and he's carried that form through to this championship, and himself and Conall Keane have an outstanding years in that half-hour game.
Former captain of the Dublin Miners, Danny Sutcliffe. Ball comes available. This is Conor Lahan, and that is straight between the posts for his second point of the game. So much expected from this corner forward from Middleton. The Munster Championship, the qualifiers, he was quiet enough, but he is coming to life.
Well, he is, Marty, and he's out in the wing on Stephen Heine. You know, he's very pacey, and that's his 3rd shot at goal. He scored 2 points, and he looks very, very sharp. But a lot of the players do. I have to say, you know, the pace of the game hasn't dropped since the start, and a fantastic open contest.
7 points each. Level 6 times. Willie Egan grabbing that slither, sending it down towards Jamie Cawley, trying to get away this time from Liam Rush. Danny Sutcliffe. Good grafting, good finisher, great skill. Flicks it forward and goes through the return. The referee blows the whistle despite David Tracy. He allows the play to continue. Tracy in for his Joey Boland. What about this for a score? Fantastic Dublin. They had to work for it. They had to create. They had to use their skill and vision. And finally, the shot comes from Joey Boland, and it was absolute perfection.
Absolutely, Marty. Score of the game so far. Brilliant block by Danny Sutcliffe. Threw it inside to a great ball into Joey Boland, and good refereeing as well. He gave the advantage and a great score.
It's compliments to the referee, in fact. Cork, on the other hand, counter-attack here. Patrick Horgan turns and shoots. And guess what? He scores. It's his second point of the game. We're having an absolute thriller. It's 8 points each in Croke Park, level for the 7th time.
Yeah, and probably nobody better in the game at the moment than Patrick Horgan at scoring that ball over his shoulder. You know, he's just given him a half yard of pace, and it's straight over the bar.
Well, the bookies in advance of this match really couldn't separate these 2 teams. We've had almost 20 minutes, and the 2 teams can't separate themselves either. It is so tight. Sideline ball is for Peter Kelly and for Dublin.
You know, Martin, I was often asked, as you know, over the years, who was the best player you played on, and this, that, and the other. And I always said every player I played on was a good player. He was and this is what you have out here: great individual battles. You know, you have a lad getting a point, but then his man winning the next ball, and vice versa. And you couldn't say anybody is dominating the game. It's really 50-50 throughout the field.
Ball is sent on far as Joey Boland. Conor Lahan is working hard. Comes by Stephen Heine, laying it off for his Rhino Dwyer, trying to get by William Egan. Daniel Carney comes in to try and get a hook. Rhino Dwyer's effort is just to the right and wide. And that's Dublin's 4th wide of the match.
You know, and maybe, you know, great-hearted player, Rhino Dwyer, but sometimes, you know, shooting from those angles, they're not on. It's one little fault in his game. He did score 3 points in the Leinster final, very important points, but, you know, that ball really should have been flashed across the square again.
Puck out again from Anthony Nash. This time it's aimed at Seamus Harnedy. Johnny McCaffrey is back there, lays it off as Michael Carton. Ball over towards Conall Keane. William Egan comes and attacks the ball. That's wonderful. Left half back play. Along the surface far is Patrick Horgan, who in turn lays it off to Daniel Carney, a player that really impressed me, and he's doing it again. Past the 20, it's deflected, and it's gone out for a 65. Oh, he is a ball of energy. When he gets the slither on the hurl, there is always something special going to happen, and it almost happened here.
Absolutely, Martin. The speed of Daniel Carney just went away from Joey Boland, and a great block. I think it was Liam Rush coming across here, stood up tall, and the ball hit him, and maybe Daniel Carney could have flicked it over the bar. And then maybe I mentioned there was no edge. Maybe Cork have an edge in the middle of the field at the moment. You know, Larkin McLaughlin scored 3 points, Daniel Carney covering a bit of ground, and but both Dublin players have been involved as well, and a bit of link play and a point by Joey Boland, but I'd say Cork have an edge there at the moment.
Patrick Horgan taking the 65, and the umpires are signalling it wide. And we're all a little bit shocked because that doesn't normally happen with Patrick. Tuck out from Gary Maguire is going to have to be done again, because Dublin are going to bring on Shane Durkin, who really played well when he came on in the Leinster final, and the player that's going off is Stephen Heine. So Shane Durkin coming on for his club mates from Ballyboden St Enda's, Stephen Heine.
Yeah, and there's a double whammy there. Shane Durkin has gone into the middle of the field with Joey Boland come back wing back, where he'd be more comfortable on Conor Lehane. I think they're just worried about maybe Lehane getting on the ball so much and their midfield.
And here comes Johnny McCaffrey, trying to jink right, needs a little bit of support, but he overcarried in the eyes of the referee, James Owens, from Ascamore in County Wexford, and it is a free out for Cork.
Yeah, well, he had three options there. He could have flicked it over the bar or passed David Tracy with a great run down the middle. He didn't see him, and then eventually ran into trouble.
Anthony Nash takes the fray. Patrick Cronin underneath it. Ball comes towards Luke O'Farrell. Gathering it is Seamus Harnedy. Difficult angle. Acute angle. But guess what? It's over. The crossbar by Harnedy, who made his championship debut against Clare. We never heard of him. By God, do we know about him now. Look at this. It was so tight, and yet he managed to squeeze it inside the post.
Yeah, late developer, but definitely the find of the championship. Has had a fantastic season. Every game he's been very, very good.
Ball knocked down by Harnedy. First Jamie Collin flicks it on first Patrick Horgan, who comes out in the middle of the field looking for possession. It's a dangerous ball. The goalkeeper comes off his line. Oh dear, oh dear. I'm waiting for my heart to go back in again.
Well, again,
that looked like it was going in, didn't it, Michael?
Cronin, huge presence, and this is obviously. When the umpires are right beside it, they've given a free out for a square ball, yeah. And he was in the square before the ball. Good call.
Ball comes out towards Tom Kenny, knocked away. Comes for his Ryan O'Dwyer, flicks it up for his Shane Durkin. Nice ball inside for his McCaffrey. William Egan comes to gather. McCaffrey, however, lost possession. He also lost the hurl, but doesn't give up. Conor O'Sullivan knocks it forward for his Tom Kenny. Tries to flick it forward. Intercepting cleverly is David Tracy. He's going for his second point. Has it the legs. Anthony Nash then drops it, having collected coolly. Just took his eye off it. I think Anthony was already deciding, where will I deliver it? He just took his eye off the ball. Ball is sent down towards Luke O'Farrell. Coming across to gather is Niall Corcoran. Flicks it into the centre. Joey Boland, remember, as Michael said, is playing now at right half back. Liam Rush sends it over first. Shane Durkin, who's operating in the middle of the field. Ball is given long. Coming across is David Tracy. Getting there first is Stephen McDonald. McDonald knocked off the hurl by Danny Sutcliffe, willing to take on Shane O'Neill. Sutcliffe goes back. Heard the call, obviously, from Conal Keeney. Lovely little wrist work. Comes for Shane Durkin, who strokes it gently, but not accurately. We had to wait for the umpire to do the short ball.
Looking for a Hawkeye, yeah.
And the referee, correctly, James Owens, has decided to go to Hawkeye. So the Hawkeye, for the first time in this All-Ireland semi-final, being called into operation. Question is it a point or is it a miss? Here comes the results.
Wide.
And it is a miss. Umpire correct, Hawkeye correct.
Yeah, it was great, and great to see. Great to see it being brought into play, you know, because you don't want a big match decided maybe by I often wonder how many matches over the years were decided by maybe one that was over or wide or whatever.
And when you have this wonderful facility, as you say, Michael, use it. Johnny McCaffrey back there helping out his defence, knocked away brilliantly by Shane O'Neill. Niall Corcoran underneath this, trying to pick it up. Ball comes loose. Luke O'Farrell, Seamus Harnedy has gone inside, uses the left-hand side. Lovely control by Conor Lehane. Lehane's performance is already match-winning ability. And some people have often wondered about Jimmy Barry Murphy's faith in Conor Lehane. It was never in doubt. He stuck with him. Look at this for a great score.
Marty, that's an incredible first touch. And I think the Cork forwards are moving around. Park Cronin went in full forward. Sorry, here's Dotsy on the ball.
Here's Dotsy doing what Conor Lehane did a moment ago. And raising the white flag. For Dotsey, it's the second time in this semi-final. It is so fast, so exhilarating. The ball, the slither is moving from Hill 16 down to Davin End at a tremendous pace.
Yeah, and I think both forward lines, you have to say, are doing very well. You know, a lot of scores in play, a lot of open hurling, and I think the speed of the game, you know, it's wide open and suiting forwards, and you know, there hasn't been hardly a free in the game. As I speak, Liam Rush holds his ground there under Park Runner, but there hasn't been anything, maybe 3 or 4 frees, I think, since the start of the game. Very, very little anyway.
It's just about right, actually. We've 3 frees awarded for Cork and 3 frees awarded for Dublin. Free-flowing game.
Yeah, James Owen, ref I like a lot, and he's a, you know, a great ref in a game like this. He's willing to let it flow. There's no dirty play out there, and why not let it go?
This man won a Leinster under-21 back in 2007, a Leinster minor in 2005. It's Joey Boland dropping it in, knocked away, hit with Paul Ryan, turning on a sixpence, dropping it in, but it's going across the face of the goal. Dr. O'Callaghan goes across to Galloway, but getting there first is Shane O'Neill. Wonderful hurler, complete cornerback, fullback, great hands, great skill. It's Seamus Harnedy. Tries to get a ball in far as Jamie Collin. It's Harnedy again who goes chasing after it, but the referee felt that Dublin were fouling, so that is a free in for Cork. Wonderful work though by Harnedy initially, and he was there again in the thick of the action. Patrick Horgan, 25-year-old since last May, hits this in, and once again the white flag will be raised. It's his 3rd point in the match. And Cork lead by 2. It's 11 points to 9.
Yeah, crucial period now, Marty. 5 minutes to half-time. You know, Dublin need a score just to stay in it. Like Cork get another score or 2 and open a little gap, or can Dublin get back in terms? And here they are through.
Nice ball inside from Conal Keaney. Lays it off for his Paul Ryan. Conor O'Sullivan. Hefty shoulder. Great ball inside for his David Tracy. Bearing down and goal. He kicks. It's a goal for Dublin. The first time Cork have conceded a goal in the championship of 2013. And it's a cooler man with the name David Tracy that rattles the back of the Cork net.
Well, this is what he can do, Mark. Look at the explosive turn of pace. Kicked it in. Lovely ball by Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan has had 2 other balls in his hand, and he had a couple of feeble shots, but he looked up here and played a lovely little ball inside, and just watch his first touch, and then lovely feed, quick feed, and burst the pace and kicked it into the net, and a super goal.
Ball comes down for Seamus Harnedy. Referee blows the whistle for the challenge by the Dublin man, and that is a free in for Cork. Well, Michael Duignan, you had just said the next 5 minutes, because we were almost on the half hour, and it's a crucial score.
Well, it is, Marty, and look at that for a kick with the outside of the boot. I think Kieran Kilkenny or any of the lads would be proud of that. But he is a player, I know from talking to Anthony Daly, he has such faith in as well. You mentioned Conor Lahan with Jimmy Barry Murphy, and Anthony Daly has stuck, and there's Pat Horgan with a free over the bar, but Anthony Daly has stuck with David Tracy. I think when the pressure would have been on over the last while, now and again, to leave him off, but he knows how good he is, and there's a crucial score. And, you know, Seamus Harnedy won a free there, and now the match level again.
It's a thriller in the capital city. Half an hour played. The sides are level on the 8th occasion. Correction. That statistic didn't last long. Johnny McCaffrey, captain from Lucan Sarsfields, has put Dublin back in front. It's 110-12.
Yeah, and Johnny McCaffrey, you know, scored a couple of great points in the Leinster final, sometimes the odd wide as well, but great captain. Has been captain, I think, nearly since Anthony Daly came to Dublin, and, you know, an inspirational score there again.
Patrick Cronin delivers it long up towards Seamus Harnedy, beating on this occasion Liam Rush, and Harnedy gets his 2nd point of the game. No matter where you are in the world watching this, you have to say there is no better game in the world when you have skill, speed, accuracy, bravery, all wrapped up in one match in 1/2 an hour.
I agree.
Possession, 55% for Dublin, 45% for Cork. And that statistic could change yet again. Here comes Conal Keaney, trying to flick it inside. Ryan O'Dwyer is hovering, trying to chip it up. He's on the ground. Tom Kenny is there, and his Ryan O'Dwyer somehow manages to get out to Keaney! And it's a bullet-like shot, but the ball is wide. My God, this is just exhausting, but it's wonderful.
But I think or did he change his mind? I thought he was going Hawkeye.
He is going Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Just to double check whether Conal Keane's shot was wide or not. Let's have a look. And that ball is going to be wide. It is a miss. Confirmation coming your way now. Puck out coming from Anthony Nash. Long ball, changing direction away from Liam Rush and Patrick Cronin. Picked up on this occasion by Shane Durkin. Rush is available, not for very long, as Harnedy was coming in to challenge. Ball comes down to Paul Wright. Great hands again. Onto the left-hand side, aiming for Datsy O'Callaghan. Good work on this occasion by Shane O'Neill. Batting it forward, under pressure, Stephen McDonald. Severe pressure, but the Glen Rovers man is well able. Knocked away by Larkin McLaughlin. Tap back, Farrers McDonald. I don't know if it was deliberate, but it worked. Daniel Carney under pressure. Here comes O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer seemed to floor Daniel Carney in a hefty shoulder. Referee indicating that it is a Dublin free.
Yeah, Marty, that came about again by fantastic tackling by the Dublin forwards. Put the Cork defenders under all sorts of pressure, and then a foul there then by Daniel Carney. And that move by Dublin, very brave. You know, a player like Stephen Heine, such an important member of the team, to take him off so quickly. And Shane Durkin has come in and steady things down there in the middle of the field, or around the half-back line, middle of the field.
Jimmy Barry Murphy along the sideline. Tall Ryan taking this fray. It looks good. It is good. It's his third point of the match. All of them from frees. And we have 1 minute of additional time going to be added on in this first half. And 1 point separating the sets. Quick puck out finds Tom Kenny. Hand passes it on past Patrick Cronin. Going for the score from in front of the Hogan stand. That is magnificent hurling by the Bishopstown man.
Yeah, Martin, he's had a quite enough first half. You know, himself and Liam Rush maybe cancelling each other out, but you know, he's been ill. I met his mother coming in, actually had a great chat with her outside, and she was telling me about his pneumonia and the difficulties he's had, but you know, back now at full tilt and a very important member of that half forward line. But a great battle between him and Liam Rushdown.
His mother is Morrissey, but you're not related, I believe. Anyway, 111 to 14 points, sides level for the 10th time. It's been that kind of a first half, an amazing first half. Coming forward is Shane O'Neill, laying it off as Patrick Cronin. Can he get his second point? Lobbing this one in towards Luke O'Farrell. Good defending on this occasion by Niall Corcoran. Gathers, there's plenty of Dublin players in around the house, but he goes for the long ball. Available is Jamie Collin. Patrick Cronin right beside him, delivers a ball in towards Luke O'Farrell. Nice turn. Under pressure is Peter Kelly. It's still Luke. Oh, great work by Peter Kelly. Luke O'Farrell. Niall Corcoran has gone over there to help his fullback. Flicks it into the centre. Durkin was there. Long ball, but the Cork players queuing up for this. It's a chance of a score before the break. It's going inside the post and over the crossbar. Daniel Carney with his first point in this All-Ireland semi-final.
Yeah, that's 4 points from midfield. That's a great score, but I think Niall Corcoran a bit unhappy there. He was clearing that ball initially back in the corner, and I think Seamus Harnedy came in a little bit of a chop in the hand, and you know, he was looking for a free out there, but a great score by Cork. And what a half, Marty, and give us a chance to catch our breath and get a cup of tea.
Oh, we're definitely going for a cup of tea, Michael. This has been a truly exhilarating opening 35 minutes. The Hurling Championship summer has been an extravaganza, but the crucial score came in the 29th minute. Crucial in the sense that Cork conceded a goal for the first time in the championship. It came off the boot of David Tracy. Amazingly, in 36 minutes of action, they were level 10 times. And at half-time, Cork lead by 1. It's Cork 15 points, Dublin 111. Analysis from Cyril Farrell and Ger Loughnane with Michael in just a moment.
Absolutely blistering stuff. It was fantastic.
Well, sure, listen, there's breathtaking, mesmerising, any superlative you want to use, you know. 7 Cork players have scored from play, 6 from Dublin have scored from play. The tone was set right from the start with Danny Sutcliffe scoring a point after just a few seconds. But more importantly, it was the way the teams lined out. They lined out in the traditional way. 3-3-2-3-3. Yeah. No tactics at all, Ron. We'll take you on man for man was the mantra of both Jimmy Barrymurphy and Anthony Daly. And what a spectacle they have given us. You know, we needed that break, as you say, to get a break from it. But the quality of the hurling. And, you know, when people are watching on television, they see the great scores, the hooking and blocking. But if you're here, you see the movement, the quality of the movement all over the field. How they're going to keep it up for 70 minutes, I don't know. But we hope they do, because the score now is often like the final score in the game. 111 to 15 points.
And we should say, Cyril Farrell, compliments as well to the referee, James Owens from Wexford, who's just letting them go out and play. Yeah,
well, you see, the thing is, Michael, there you have 2 referees today, one completely different to the other. And like Jimmy Owens is using common sense, letting it flow. No, I don't think there's any yellow cards yet. And it's a fantastic game of hurling. The skills, the scores, and like the Dublin backs are keeping great. The Cork forwards are moving all over the place. Yes. Conor Lahan, corner forward, wing forward, they're all moving, but they still can't get away from them. And up front, like Dublin, are really causing trouble to the Cork backs. This is anyone's game, but like it's a privilege to be here because it's a fantastic game of hurling. And to remind you a bit of old style, they're letting the ball rip. They're looking for scores. There's very heavy, good hard tackles, but there isn't one malicious belt in it. We
could pick out so many highlights that first half, Ger. It was a case of anything you can do, we can do as well. But let's just pick out a few anyway. Let's have a look at a couple of the Dublin points. The first one we're going to see is Conall Keaney, because this showed. You were talking about it before the match, this determination in Dublin, this
absolutely, work ethic. And the work ethic, especially among the forwards, which wasn't always there. And, you know, and not alone that, but the combination. You know, when you see that there like that, you say, oh, sure, that's easy play. But to have that vision with 60,000 people roaring here for an inexperienced team, that shows the kind of composure that Dublin have today. And not alone that, but the skill level they have as well. You know, they're work rate, they're prepared to take the tackle, they don't care, they're totally oblivious to their own safety, and to finding the man in the open space, that is the whole key to a lot of the point scoring in the first half. The difference between them and Cork is they're working so hard. They're taking on the man they're letting off. Cork are doing the diagonal ball, and Cyril will talk about that. But that's what's really opening up the Dublin defence, is that diagonal ball from Cork.
Cork has some equally fantastic points, but I suppose, Cyril, Lorcan McLaughlin from midfield, if he was dreaming about this game last night, he couldn't have dreamt it any better.
Yeah, that fella has been kind of dominating, but like himself and Carlow midfield to do a lot of running, and he actually kept Cork in the game early on. When Dublin were really hitting great scores, this fella kind of blew. He blossomed from midfield, hard enough. Like the 2 boys midfield, McCaffrey and Waldo playing well enough too, but like it just wasn't happening for them. Again, now here you're going to see little pop passing them in. Like they have good vision, and like Cork have lovely wrists. And as Gerard said, pointed out, this is hardly here locked down. They don't have to work. They're not actually putting their bodies in as much as Dublin are. Dublin are workaholics, fight for everything, give everything. And at times maybe they get caught a little bit like that. But like the blocking and the stopping, here again, now look at this, he plays the ball back out, has a little look, there's a diagonal ball across the pitch, and here he comes again, gets a ball he could hardly should have won, I suppose, really, bang on his left side. Left or right, like, he's having a dream game. At this stage now, when it looks there, you'd imagine Cork were completely on top, but Dublin he's a great patch as well, but here he gets onto another pass. He got 3 from play in the first half, Kearney got 1, which was 4, but Dublin have made a very vital switch. They put Durkin in midfield, and they've dropped Boland back wing backs, and he's beginning to tighten up for them, but Cork, like, if Cork put in I know they're trying hard, but if they put in their bodies as much as Dublin are, maybe they're not as physically strong, I think they might go on and just win it. But Dublin, as Ger says, they're oblivious to tackles. They're just going through the pain barrier and begin to wonder. I begin to wonder, like Ryan O'Dwyer, to do this for 70 minutes. My God, he's playing his heart out, giving belts, taking them. It's going to be hard to keep it going.
Dalkey in South County Dublin, Ger. It's more noted for resident of Rock.
Absolutely no idea. No changes on either side. Dublin playing from left to right as we watch. With Cork just in front by 1. Patrick Cronin sending the ball deep. Now Corcoran going to gather. Attempting to gather, coming across his ball shooting. Sending it cleverly, accurately, far as Liam Rush into the centre. Shane Durkin goes for the long ball. Going forward is Conor O'Sullivan. With the slither in his left hand is Conall Keaney, and that's a free end for Dublin.
Yeah, great pick up there by Conall Keaney, and definitely foul. Eamon Dillon coming on there, Morris O'Brien, and maybe even Oisin Goff if needed, whereas Cork maybe don't have that strength and depth. They might be dependent more on the players they have on the field.
It's Paul Ryan, scored 3 points, 2 frees, 165. This one just dropping in. Could work out still for Dublin. Ryan O'Dwyer gets his first point. It means all 6 Dublin forwards have now scored in this semi-final, and the sides are level for the 11th time.
And their 2 midfielders, Marty. Paul Ryan hasn't scored from play, 2 frees in a 65, but good, lovely reaction there by Ryan O'Dwyer, because you'd expect Paul Ryan to have put that over the bar. And good concentration by Ryan O'Dwyer there.
Puck out again is aimed at Liam Rush, or deep packed to Cronin, if you're looking from a Cork perspective. Ball comes free. Dublin man is fouled. And this is going to be taken by Joey Boland. Between his own 45 and 65. Scored once in the first half. Swirling breeze slightly favouring Dublin in this second half. Sends it out towards the wing, towards Ryan O'Dwyer. Trying to get inside the cover of Christopher Joyce. O'Dwyer succeeds. There's another Cork man waiting for him. That's Conor O'Sullivan, and he goes all the way back. I don't think Shane Durkin was expecting that. Little flick back is now required. There's Michael Carrick. Seamus Harnedy is there, and Harnedy almost won the battle. He didn't quite. Alan Kelly from Galway, the linesman, indicates that it's a Dublin ball. Going to be taken by Johnny McCaffrey. Dublin midfielders scored twice in the first half, 1 point each. Cork midfielders scored 4 points between them, 3 for Larkin McLaughlin. That's Stephen McDonald that lays the ball off. Finds Daniel Carney. This is Seamus Harnedy, and this is going across the face of the goalpost and wide.
Yeah, Cork just seemed to have maybe lost their concentration just a little bit. The second half was only on 3 minutes, but it took Luca Farrell a long time to get back inside, and there seems to be maybe only 2 men. Per Cronin has gone in there and Luca Farrell's in there now, but Pat Horgan has come out the field, and obviously a slight change of tactics. They must be going with more men out, 4 men out around the half-forward line now.
Puck out from Gary Maguire. Almost a great catch by David Tracy. He's the goal scorer from the first half. He's well surrounded. Referee felt he was taking too many steps. Ryan will protest. Referee will make the decision. It's a free for Cork.
Yeah, he fought very hard to win the ball. You know, you have to have simply, players are so fit now, there's no room, but he didn't seem to take too many steps there, maybe 3 or 4, trying to make room for himself. And I'd like to see the player given a little bit of benefit of the doubt in those situations, because there is so little room, and as I said, the fitness levels are so high. Just give a lad a split second to try to keep the ball in play.
Anthony Nash going for his 3rd point of the championship, and his first in this semi-final. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, well, he's a fantastic striker of the ball, and you know, for Cork to lose someone like Donald Cusack, who'd been such a great goalkeeper for 15 years, and bring in a guy like this who waited so long for his chance, and you know, to be the All-Star goalie last year, like, they're so lucky to have someone that showed such patience really to stay in there. A lot of other lads would have packed it in.
Puck out from Gary Maguire. Conal Keaney gets his fingertips to it. Picked up here by Ryan O'Dwyer. 2 Cork players around him. One of them is Larkin McLaughlin. Gives it to Denny Sutcliffe. Nice ball control. Flicks it out. Ferris. Shane Durkin. Can he score from there? Should I ask? In this intriguing, exhilarating All-Ireland semi-final. That's over the bar. And the sides are level for the 12th occasion.
Yeah, and a good patient build up there. Ryan O'Dwyer, again, Danny Sutcliffe involved, lovely flick off the hurl, and Shane Durkin, you know, again, a long-serving Dublin player and great striker of the ball always, whether it be wing back or midfield, and he's at midfield now, and he's made a big difference since he's come on.
Liam Rush has to go back to gather this. Flicks it as Peter Kelly, taking on the challenge of the Cork lads. Good stick work by Kelly. This is Joey Boland. Diagonal ball over towards Paul Ryan. Good covering by Conor O'Sullivan. What a championship this young fella has had from Sarsfields. Flicks it forward for his Tom Kenny. Into the centre to Larkin McLaughlin. Lovely stick work. Good passing by Cork. Patrick Cronin to Patrick Horgan. Dropping a little bit short. Balanced on the hurl by Gary Maguire. All-Star goalkeeper for Dublin 2011. Anthony Nash, All-Star goalkeeper 2012. Sideline ball as Alan Kelly demonstrates is going to Cork, and Tom Kenny comes across to take it. 32 years of age since the 16th of July. Had a wonderful midfield partnership with the legendary Jerry O'Connor, but he'll be disappointed with that sideline cut. Advantage Dublin. One man up for Dublin is Dotsy. Ball breaks free. Is that a free? Referee says not quite. I have my doubts about that one. Daniel Carney steps away from the challenge, lays it off for his Patrick Cronin. There's a chance here for Cork to score. He steadies, he shoots, and that is left and wide. No need for Hawkeye.
Oh, that was wide. We'll have to have a look at this one here. There's Shane O'Neill now, and Dotsy under the high ball. You know, it's hard to know. Shane O'Neill seemed to be gone back looking for the ball, and maybe, you know, Dotsy maybe pulling him just as much. I think, you know, to call it fair, I think it was a 50-50 there. I don't think there was much in it.
You could argue that Dotsy was actually holding on to his Shane's hurling.
Great catch by Conal Keane.
What a catch. Dead right, Michael. Conal Keane, Danny Sutcliffe. It's a hat-trick of points on this young, magnificent hurler from St. Jude's in the capital city of our country. But what about this by Keane? 5 Leinster Football Championship medals, 1 Leinster hurling. He is a creator with Sutcliffe, the finisher.
Well, that's a brilliant score, you know, score of the match. That's what Keane's been doing all summer, and Sutcliffe, you know, he's a young lieutenant, and there's Pat Cronin lost his hurl there, but a brilliant score there by Dublin. And what a second half again, is picked up where it left off.
Daniel Carney backfires William Egan. Great block down, he has to flick it back. Under pressure, Christopher Joyce sends it down the middle. Coming forward is Johnny McCaffrey. Goes for the long ball. Dotsy goes up for it. Coming forward, however, is Shane O'Neill. A rock of a defender. We used to have the rock, as I think of it. We have a new one. His name is Shane O'Neill. But the ball comes loose. Ball comes into Ryan over the wire. There's a goal opportunity here. Hits it all. What a save! What a magnificent save by Anthony Nash. And the ball comes free. Farris William Egan gives it long, very long. Patrick Horgan, 60,092 can't take their eyes off this semi-final. What a crowd, what an atmosphere, what a game. Blocked in this occasion. Here comes Peter Kelly, flicks it across for his Joey Boland. Hits the ball before Patrick Cronin can put in the challenge. Tom Kenny loses it in the sunshine. It comes to Ryan over the wire, bursting forward. The referee has blown his whistle, I think. I can hardly hear him. He's indicating that it is a free, and there's a chance for Dublin with this free.
Well, Marty, just get the feeling in the last minute or two there that, you know, Dublin getting on top around the field. Ryan O'Dwyer, a great ball by David Tracy, and Ryan O'Dwyer straight down. He should have kept it low here. Lovely height, straight at the goalie. Good save, but, you know, really should have been low and into the corner. But just, you know, after the ball brought back up the field, Peter Kelly won it down there. Luke O'Farrell took a bad option. And you just get that feeling that Dublin are beginning to get on top in a number of positions there in the last minute or two.
Ryan O'Dwyer getting a little bit of medical attention and some ice. I could tell you that Cork may well be consider introducing Stephen White from forward as we have a look at that free being taken and sent over the bar by Paul Ryan for his 4th point of the game. So Stephen White is coming on for Tom Kenny. So change in the Cork half-back line. Puck out, knocked away. Coming forward is Larkin McLaughlin. He's already scored 3, hooked on this occasion by Liam Rush. Still McLaughlin. Referees blows his whistle. Dublin fans protest. They feel that Liam Rush didn't foul. Question is, did he, Michael Dykman?
No, I think he was going for the ball. All eyes were on the ball. You know, great hook first of all by Liam Rush. Maybe it was there. They just saw a little nudge after, but it was harsh enough. And, you know, we didn't see frees like that in the first half.
Patrick Horgan, scorer of 4 points in this semi-final. Wisely gets his 5th. Just 1 point between the teams again. Jimmy Barry Murphy with Dr. Con Murphy. Quick puck out this time from Gary Maguire. Farris Liam Rush gives it long. Conal Keane, what a catch! Can he finish? Oh, fantastic hurling by Conal Keane. What a player! He had to work so hard here make the space, and then shoot the point.
Yeah, Martin, he started his run actually over on the other wing here. He travelled 40-50 yards to take that puck out of the air. Great catch. Danny Sutcliffe has gone way out the field in this second half, and he's creating loads of space inside two-man full forward line.
Stephen White sends it along the surface towards Lorcan McLaughlin, picked up, snatched by Johnny McCaffrey. Says, I'll take that, thank you very much. And it is, at the end of it all, a sideline ball for Cork.
Yeah, and the Dublin crowd reacting. You know, Johnny McCaffrey definitely fouled, and you know, James Owens trying to let the game flow, get him the advantage, but then he was hooked and the ball goes over the line. And that's the disadvantage sometimes of letting it flow, you know, and sometimes the ref can't win, I suppose, at times.
Stephen White with the sideline cut. It's a good one. Batted away by Joey Boland, but only into the path of Lorcan McLaughlin. He turns. It's a high dropping ball. The umpire is perfectly positioned, and it's wide. And by the way, Cork have shot 7 wides to Dublin 6. And we've had 116 for Dublin and 17 points for Cork. And thanks be to God, there's only 11 minutes gone into the second half. More thrilling hurling coming your way here live on the Sunday game. William Egan takes too much out of it. It's a free for Dublin.
He was actually penalised there, Marty. He was getting in trouble. He threw the ball ahead of himself. You see that going on now and again, and the ref very sharp there, picked it up, and it definitely is a free.
Rhino Dwyer again requiring some attention.
You just watch here, Marty. He just throws the ball into space there to make room for himself. He can't do that.
And if you're enjoying this match, let me tell you, tonight on the Sunday game, you can't afford to miss it. With Des Cowell, my colleague, 9:30 RT2. Paul Ryan going to take this free. That line you see on your screen, here's a better snapshot, is the Cork 65. It's tailing to the left and wide. For Dublin's 7 wide. Both counties now have shot 7 wides. Anthony Daly with the stopwatch. All-Ireland winning captain for the Banner County, 1995 and 97. Will he guide this team to a historic All-Ireland final? Jimmy Barry Murphy, 6 times All-Ireland medalist. Ball is put down. It comes to Seamus Harnedy, making a little bit of room. Sends it forward to Lachlan McLaughlin. Runs on for his Luke O'Farrell. Pulls the brakes. Turns. Now comes the shot. And that is looking brilliant. Luke O'Farrell. 2 points, Luke O'Farrell. 5 points, Patrick Horgan. 3 points, Conor Lahan. That's the Cork full forward line.
Absolutely, Marty, but I'm just looking here what's happening in the second half. It looks like Dublin are playing with 7 backs. Niall Corcoran is free. Johnny McCaffrey has dropped right back. Now he's pushed up a little bit up the field, but it's unbelievable what's going on here. You know, both teams looking for this little tactical edge, and whoever's going to get it. Now, if you look down here now, Niall Corcoran completely free in the full forward line. Danny Sutcliffe is coming way out the field as well, playing as a midfielder, and this is what Dublin have done before, but it would seem it's working for them. They're keeping tight in the game, and they were obviously concerned about the room that the Cork forwards were getting.
Drama developing in Croke Park. It's a second yellow card for Rhino Dwyer. He is so incensed, but Dublin are down to 14 players.
Yeah, it's that. You can see him, the hands up in the air straight away, but he ran into the front. The frontal charge is a yellow card. It looks very harsh. The other yellow card was right at the throw-in, Marty. You might remember. It was for something similar, slightly late, probably not overly malicious, and he got a yellow card for that. And there we see it. This is maybe the 3rd controversial red card we've had this summer.
So Rhino Dwyer has gone off. Lorcan McLaughlin is the one that needs some medical attention from Dr. Con Murphy. Ryan is devastated, as you can see. And Anthony Daly, you saw a moment ago, speaking to his fellow selectors. Rhino Dwyer is obviously explaining what happened.
Well, this is involving Cork. Here's Anthony Nash now again with a long-range free.
Nash puts it over the bar for his 2nd point in this semi-final. And incredibly, for the 13th time in this All-Ireland semi-final, the sides are level. But has the pendulum, the advantage, swung in Cork's way, now that they have numerical advantage on the field?
Well, it remains to be seen, Marty, but I'd hate to see a game of this nature being decided by sending off. You know, we'll have to get a chance, obviously, the lads tonight will have a better look at it. We just saw there, probably there were 2 frontal charges, neither of them very, very serious, but that's the rule, you know, the rule of yellow card. A bit like Henry Shefflin, a little tip, and then the second one was a high tackle and he got the line, and we had Pat Horgan against Limerick sent off on a very harsh red card, which has been rescinded since. So
Mark Shute is coming on to the Dublin attack, and the player that's going off is David Tracy, who scored 1-1 today. So a change in the Dublin attack. Dublin having to play the last 20 minutes with only 14 players, as Paul Ryan sends that to the right and wide.
Yeah, Marty, that's 2 frees now in a row. Paul Ryan normally tapped them over, and they're crucial misses. You know, it's Joey Boland was taking the frees against Wexford. Paul Ryan hadn't been starting at that stage, and you know, he really has to steady now, because any chance to get when they're a man down, they'll have to be putting it over the bar.
Puck out from Anthony Nash. Niall Corcoran is waiting for the breaking ball. Patrick Corrigan gets a hurl to it. Ball is sent in again.